Good evening, and you are welcome to another exclusive interview powered by Newsband Television. Now, today we are going to be discussing assessing Igbo strategy towards the 2023 election. And as our guest, we have the convener, Igbo Social Cultural Organization, Dr. Lomefo. Dr. Mefo, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting me.
We are also expecting another guest, but when he comes, I'm going to do the introduction. Now, let's just start with you, Dr. Mefo. What is your take on the Southeast readiness for the 2023 elections? Dr. Mefo, did you hear me?
I didn't get the last part.
Okay, I said, what is your take on the Southeast readiness for the 2023
You have gone off again.
Can you hear me?
You keep tripping off. I don't know whether it is from this end or from your end. I want to believe in what you're asking. What are the strategies of the Southeast towards 2023? Could that be your question?
What's your take on Southeast readiness for the 2023 elections?
Thank you. It has come clear now. Well, first, my introduction as a Igbo convener is not completely how do I put it now? I am a co-convener, and I must give credit to the others who betted the dream with me. So it's not a sole dream. There are others who did. Distinguished Senator Ivan Yoba was actually the one that hosted the meeting where Igbo was betted. And there are other distinguished Igboists like Jude Ndukwe, Chidi Omeje, and one or two others. That said, the readiness of the Southeast for 2023, the political climate is still very hazy, and our gladiators are not sure-footed yet. I believe they are still gauging the temperature. They are weighing their options, and what I see is not quite encouraging. I had actually expected a much more daring moves from some of them, and I know that one or two of them are quite capable, and they should be able to really take the Igbo position on this, and they go for it and really get it. But as at now, one cannot say that this person or the other is ready for this race and actually hunger for it. Because you see, power from all intents and purposes is really taken. You just have to come out and stick that you can. And then people will begin to look at you. Take the example of the incumbent president, General Muhammad Buhari. He got it at the fourth trial, and he was serious that he wanted this. You know, his performance is quite a different thing. I am talking about his desire to become a civilian president after being a head of state under the military regime. We don't see such push from the Southeast. I can't see. I've looked around. I haven't seen, and I know that we have quite a good number of Igbo men and women who are quite capable, fairly prepared players at both the national and international stage who can actually deliver, well above average, if not a first-class presidency for Nigeria. But they are not forthcoming. I have actually tried to reach a number of them to find out why they are pussyfooting And they keep telling me that the time is not just ripe. But I expected that even if they don't come out as individuals, they should come together as a group and keep telling Nigerians that, say, look, leave this for our zone. We have one or two persons that can deliver. So even if one of them doesn't come forth to insist that he can and he should, I believe that collectively they ought to have done something. And I'm aware that one or two meetings have been attempted in that regard. I know that Senator Oji Uzo Kalu called such a meeting twice to see if his colleagues would come together and agree to really push. And the two meetings he called, one in Igbere, one in Enugu, both were poorly attended. I can't remember who and who really attended. So you can see that they are still not sure of what they want. And I hear from here and there that they seem to have settled for the office of the vice president, if they will even get that. I tell you, because it's not as if they don't go for president, they would get vice. No, I don't think so. And let me also tell you that what I had, the committee on zoning set up by the PDP, headed by one of us, Governor Ivan Yogwanyim, just said yesterday, I suppose, that the committee does not have a mandate to zone the office of the president and vice, that their mandate is stopped at zoning the party offices. You can see what is going on. But you see, I'm not quite happy because PDP particularly has been playing games with the Southeast. And if you check the amendment, the amendment of the PDP constitution in 2009 wrote into it the rotation and zoning of the office of the president, and as a matter of fact, all other offices down the line. So I had expected that that section of the constitution would be invoked in compelling the PDP to respect its own rules and regulations. But the Southeast gladiators are not talking about it. Nobody is looking in that direction. They are leaving everything to chance, as if the PDP has never taken any decision on zoning and rotation. But go and check the PDP constitution, zoning is there. It was reflected, affected in the amendment they carried out in 2009. But nobody is looking at that. And it's only unfortunate, because I had thought that that would be the major, should I say, plank that the Southeast hopefuls would really use to make their own case. But they are not going in that direction. So I don't see much preparedness on the part of, on the side of the Southeast politicians, the hopefuls, and Southeast generally.
Okay. Now, according to your recent write-up on this subject, you criticize the fact that aspirants from the Southeast do not belong to the ruling or the major opposition party, that's APC and PDP. Do you believe this would be to their disadvantage?
Come again. That let me get your point again, please.
I said, can you hear me clearly now?
I can hear you now.
I said, according to your recent write-up on this subject, you criticized the fact that the aspirants or the gladiators, like you described them, from the Southeast, do not belong to the ruling or the major opposition party. Do you believe this will be to their disadvantage, considering the political reality we have on ground, where people are agitating for a third force? Did you hear me?
Yes, I got you. I think I got you. You see, first and foremost, the time for a third force is gone. I don't think of a third force less than of the all progressives, Congress, APC. They started 3 to 4 years down the line, bringing together the 3 to 5 electoral culminating political party you call the APC today. Now they have practically 1 year to presidential election, and somebody is talking about a third force. I heard about a meeting where a number of ex this, ex that came together, saying they want to form a third force. I think there is even a sprinkling of somebody like Atahiru Jiga, the former chairman of INEC. I don't see where they can go. You see, let me tell you why. If you review how the president of Nigeria has been produced since 1999, it is done by the governors. It is the governors that produce the president, because they are the ones in charge of the states where the reproduction takes place. That is where you get the police commissioners. That's where you get INEC commissioners. All the security, agencies are there. Then the voters also, and they control the funds with which they can do this and that. They are on ground. Even the president on election day is helpless. It's the governors that really take charge. So when you say you want a third force, and you cannot boast of 10 serving governors, you are just wasting your time. So I don't want anybody to give much, credence to the coming together of a few X this and X that, in the hope that they will be able to supplant APC and PDP, controlling, 36 governors and the minister of FCT. Let's face reality now. That said, you see, if you see where I am coming from, you will understand that if you want to see the hope of the Southeast in APC and the PDP, I believe the Southeast has, enough stake in PDP. I've talked about the constitution of the PDP that must be invoked by them if they are really serious. I've talked about that. And then again, the investment of the Southeast, in PDP, I think it is time for them to reap from it. Do you understand that? And if you check the win, the big win of President Goodluck Jonathan, as he then was, in 2011. South, where he comes from, gave him 6 point something million. Southeast gave him 5 point something million. If you add the two, it came to 11 million. And that was essentially what they delivered Goodluck. In other words, any argument that it is the North that will give a PDP the presidency is not supported by statistics and history, because I just gave an instance. So whoever is going in that direction should also be prepared to lose these block votes, because the Southeast certainly will, protest their exclusion from this, because they've made enough investments. The Southeast, don't forget, supported the emergence of Olusegun Obasanjo as president of Nigeria, even when the Yorubas turned their backs on him. The Southeast stood behind him, made sure he became president. The same thing happened with Yaradua. The Southeast stood behind Yaradua and made sure he became president. The Southeast stood behind a very Goodluck Jonathan and made sure he became president. So why shouldn't the Southwest and South stand behind the Southeast to produce the president? I know I may be sounding a bit sentimental, but I think that one good turn deserves another. If this fails, two things will happen inevitably, inescapably. Two things will happen. The Southeast will protest, apathy will set in, many of them wouldn't vote at all. Those would vote against the PDP. I'm just telling you, that is what is going to happen. And it is justifiable if they do so. So if they go on ahead and believe that Atiku Abubakar will give them president, that Bukola Saraki will give them president, Tambuwa will give them president, and of course, more lately, Bala Mohammed of Bauchi would give them president. Yes, these four men are eminently qualified. They can actually make good president for Nigeria. But as an Igbo man, I still believe that it is the Southeast that should go. And these people I have mentioned should be able to understand that, in fact, even Atiku should know that the impressive showing he had at the polls in 2029 was moderated, mustered by the Southeast and South-South. So why shouldn't Atiku back the Southeast candidate? He should. He has to. Morality demands that he does that. If he goes on and runs against, against the wind, he should know that he's actually facing a headwind. That headwind is eastward. It's coming from the east. And it will be backed by the South-South. I tell you, nobody will believe this now, but I gave you an example of how the bulk vote of 11 million came from Southeast and South-South. Even in 2019, President Buhari won the election by 50%, put together 11 million votes and put it in one direction. You can be sure what will happen to that, to the opposite. So, see, I am appealing to those who think the Southeast, doesn't count, to look at these statistics. The facts are there, and figures don't lie. They can check and see that the home of PDP since 1999 has been the Southeast and the South-South. South-South has gone. They have produced the president of Nigeria in the person of a Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. It is the time for the Southeast to take the shot. They have done enough in terms of, showing fidelity, showing loyalty, contributing to the party, stabilizing it, contributing in all ramifications. So why is the Southeast being denied again? And people believe that they will always vote the PDP no matter what. It is not true.
Okay, you mentioned something that I just want you to expatiate on. You said that according to the nature of our democracy, governors are saddled with the influence during presidential elections. Now,
yes, that's my position.
With the southeastern states just having 5 states, don't you think we are at a disadvantage come 2023? And how do you think we can overcome this particular challenge?
You see, no zone the president. You need certain constellation of forces to come together to a zone that produces the presidential candidate really ready to go. I believe that if we are giving the presidential ticket of any of the political parties, South-South is very, very likely to vote to follow the Southeast because we have supported them. They have no reason not to support the Southeast, and they have said this openly.
Okay, now let me just interject here, Dr. Mefo. Even if South-South supports the Southeast, do you think they stand a fighting chance against other regions? Did you hear me?
That is, listen, I can hear you, and that is the picture I'm trying to paint for you. I am that Southeast is not alone. Southeast cannot work alone in this enterprise of going for the office of the president of Nigeria. Southeast is Southeast is banking on the support of the Middle Belt or North Central, whatever you want to call them. Southeast will not be misplacing its trust and hope if it banks on the support of the Southwest. I believe that if we get the ticket of any of the parties, PDP, APC, and possibly the two tickets, if we get the two tickets, we will choose between and let me tell you, the Igbos will vote in one direction. That's the truth. And whoever is calculating on the Igbo vote must know that the preponderance of our vote in one direction. It has always been like that. Ever. Right from the days of Nnamdi Azikiwe, our vote 70 to 80% go in one direction. That So whoever wants the bulk vote of the Southeast, backed by the South-South, must bring the presidential ticket of the party to our place. Now, if you have the four zones, working together, the entire South and North Central or Middle Belt, whatever you call them, working together, 4 zones out of 6 will produce the president of Nigeria. You know why? You see, if you check the 1999 Constitution, it tells you that for a president of Nigeria to emerge, 24 states will have to vote together. The president must win ample majority. These are the fundamental provisions of the 1999 Constitution. And I tell you, an Igbo candidate will win 25% in the entire South and in the North Central. I don't want to start calling the states in the Northwest and Northeast where he will also win for reasons I don't even want to mention. But I tell you that 4 regions can produce the president of Nigeria, and the Southeast has invested enough to enjoy the confidence, the trust of South-South, Southwest, and North Central, and is in a solid position, very firm ground to produce the president of Nigeria in 2023.
Okay, remember that you can join the conversation simply by raising up your digital hand, and I'll try to accommodate as much questions and comments as possible. Now, before this particular question, when we're making a second submission, you mentioned something that the PDP may have zoned their presidency towards the north. Now, do you believe that if this is actually true, they can just wave the votes from the Southeast goodbye?
I said that before. Let me tell you. If the PDP takes their ticket to the north, right? If they take their presidential ticket to the north, even if APC gives the Southeast vice president, we'll take it and dump the PDP. Look, listen, the very day PDP announces that their ticket is going north is the same day I, Dr. Lomefo, will join APC. In protest. That's the truth. Can't that PDP does not get the vote of the Southeast and possibly that of the South. We will do everything humanly possible to deny them that. because you see, they argue. I have had this a weak argument that you see the party has to worry about where they can, who can help them win, the presidential election. And I want to know why, a nationalist of Igbo extraction cannot win the presidential election. I've already given you the scenario of why he can call not a West and call not East. Yes, I'm not ignorant of that. But there is no solid Igbo presidential candidate that will not do well in Central, that will not do well in region. 60 to 70% can produce the president of Nigeria. It's simple, because what you need is 25% in 24 states. And the simple majority also can be guaranteed by the fact that, look, let me tell you, you see, maybe you don't know, statistically, the Igbos living in the north are up to 10 million. That's a fact. And over 30% of them are registered voters. 30 to 40, possibly 50% are registered voters. Igbos living in the southwest are more than 5 million. 2 to 3 million of them are registered voters. So you shouldn't see this that compared to what the Igbos can generate outside Igbo land. And we vote what I say, if you want, call it herd mentality. We don't owe anybody apologies about that. We don't want you, we don't want you. We vote for who we want. And damn the consequences. We're very confident of what we want. We have the courage of our conviction to stand by, on what we want and prove it a logical conclusion. We believe that we can give Nigeria a first-class presidency. We can solve the problem of this country. Our problem in Nigeria, just two things: security and development. Igbos are project people. We are project-minded people. We are developing operations started in the Southeast. We know what to do with Nigerian security. We know what the problem is. We can deliver this country from the present problems we are facing. So who deliver is only indulging in what I call an emotional blackmail. And let me also add one thing quickly. You see, somebody has said emotional blackmail. Igbos don't want Biafra. Yes, Igbos do not want Biafra, and may want Biafra if Nigerians don't want us. You better understand this fact. We by the school of the but I dare Nigeria Igbo presidency, and you will see that the issue of Biafra agitation will go away. Because the reason why the IPOB is agitating is because the Igbos are no longer in Nigeria in any way. That's the issue here now. So why don't you address the reason for their agitation and see whether or not they will not embrace Nigeria again? They will. The Igbos are not going away from Nigeria unless we are pushed out. If we are pushed out of Nigeria, my dear, I assure you, we will make a nation of Biafra in less than 10 years. We have the capacity.
Okay, Dr. Mefo, just before we come to the IPOB issue and how it affects the strategy towards 2023, let me ask you this. In your opinion, why do you think these gladiators, like you described them, are not making bold moves towards the elections. Like, why have they not gone to PDP and made a strong statement demanding that the president is zoned to Southeast? Dr. Mefo, did you get my
Come
question?
again? Why they haven't made a statement like that?
Yes. Why are they not making
That's,
these bold moves that they should be making?
I believe that they are not making the bold moves, insisting that one of them can become president of Nigeria because of the fact that they believe it may be a waste of time and waste of resources. You know, since after the war, there has been systematic marginalization of the Southeast, the marginalization of the Igbos in the scheme of things in Nigeria is systematic, is structural, it is even constitutional. We are the only zone in the country that has only 5 states. Others have 6, 7. Even North Central has 7 states, because if you consider the fact that for the production of the president, FCT is treated as a state, you will see that even the North Central has 7 states. We have only 5. That's marginalization. If you look around, we are not involved in scheme of things. So if you want somebody to be confident about issues of this nature, he would have to look at his past. He wants to see what is the situation. You know, has he been given even a seat, you know, in the outer corridor, let alone asking to be allowed to preside over the meeting? I think Senator Enyinaya Baribe, you know, captured that succinctly at the point. He said that a man that has not even appointed into the Security Council of Nigeria, you know, would such a person be willing to hand over the presidency to you? But I'm thinking differently. I think that despite all this, we are equal stakeholders in the Nigeria project. So power is also given. We need to insist on what must come to us. Including the office of the president of FEFA, and we should be bold enough to embrace the options that are available and go for it. The Igbos in PDP particularly have every reason to insist on the PDP zoning the office to the Southeast and convincing them on what we can do. Things we can deliver in terms of votes, the number of votes that can come through us, both in Igbo land and in the diaspora. Diaspora here, I mean within Shubika. But the Igbo gladiators are not doing that at the moment. Not even Rogers. You know, the last interview that Rogers had with the media, he was still tentative. He wasn't categorical that he will be running for the office of the president. He's not categorical about it. You know, Ojuso Carlos started boldly at a point, but he backed off. He's no longer talking about it. Peter Obi is describing Nigeria as a vehicle, is the Nigeria driving it, but to fix it first. Who is he expecting will fix Nigeria for him? That's the job of a presidential material. He should be able to offer solutions because he is one. He's a presidential hopeful and is one of the individuals actually emboldened some of us to believe that the Igbos can go for this. So why should somebody like Peter Obi not throw his heart in the ring and insist that he can? He is a business guru. That means he can solve Nigerian economic problems. The other aspect that has to do with the politics, security, and others, I'm sure that technical, support can help you solve that if he gets the proper hands that are all over Nigeria to man sensitive positions and get some of these problems solved within 6 months and 1 year, at most 2 years. But he's not talking about that. Peter B is saying that nobody should be talking about presidency now. So what should we be talking about? Talking about headsmen Is he really talking about herdsmen? Talking about bandits and Boko Haram? Is he talking about bandits and Boko Haram? I haven't seen him go anywhere. Has he gone to the north to commiserate with them? So what does he want us to be talking about now? So when you say that we are not really, coming to the party, I agree with you. Our gladiators are still not sure that this is not a waste of time and waste of resources. But I believe that a leader should throw his heart in the ring against any result. That is why I love somebody like Wike. Wike doesn't give a damn. He follows the things to their logic, regardless of who's. That's my kind of person. That is what I would do. If I am visible enough, I would have gone for Nigeria president. And I know that I will deliver. I will make an excellent president, a president that will transform Nigeria. And I tell you, we have more than 20 others who are more than 1,000 times more qualified than myself. So what are they waiting for? We have to smoke them one way or another.
So remember that you can join the conversation simply by raising up your digital hand, and I'll try to accommodate as much questions and comments as possible. Now, just before I allow the participants to start making their own submissions, let me just ask you this. You mentioned briefly about the IPOB situation. How do you think this would affect the Igbo strategy towards 2023?
I didn't get that part.
I said, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming now.
I said the IPOB situation in the Southeast, how do you think this would affect Igbo's presidency, or rather the strategy towards 2023?
I don't know why it should. IPOB is a factor in Igbo land, no doubt, but they don't constitute the Igbos. They are a section of the Igbos, and they mirror the Igbo anger against our animals, against our marginalization, exclusion from the scheme of things. But that is not really what I always say that. But I don't want sovereign Biafra. If I can get, federalism restored in Nigeria, I believe it's a better deal for me as an Igbo man, a better deal for the Igbos. And I believe that if all these things are done, those who are agitating for sovereign state of Biafra will weigh their options. But are these things really coming? I remember, an encounter I had with Nnamdi Kanu, and he challenged me, he said, look, give me a restructured Nigeria. He said, don't tell me about de-escalating my quest for a sovereign state of Biafra when you can't bring a restructured Nigeria. Isn't that kind of all right? Look at that. So if you look at it, his position is clear, because he said that the only way we can make sense to him is to bring a restructured Nigeria. And people don't want Nigeria to be restructured. So if you don't want Nigeria to be restructured, it means you want the agitation to continue. And it's not about Biafra agitation. It's about agitation from all sections of the country. Oduduwa Republic being championed by Sunday Igboho and others. It's not about Biafra. What is happening in the Northeast, where the Boko Haram is fighting to carve out a caliphate out of Nigeria, is not about Nnamdi Kanu or about the sovereign state of Biafra. What is happening in the Niger Delta militancy is about possible carving out of a republic in that place, out of Nigeria. That is not IPOB. So it's not just an IPOB issue, and it should not be seen as exclusive. Biafra agitation is not exclusive to the Igbos. The agitation for what you may call self-determination in Nigeria is not exclusive to IPOB or to Biafrans or to Ndi Igbo. No, it's not true. Whoever is making it so is only indulging in emotional blackmail. It's not what the issues are. In fact, I am fighting for a restructured Nigeria. I am also fighting for Nigerian president of Igbo or Southeast extraction. And I believe the two of them are not mutually exclusive. Yes, they are not mutually exclusive. In fact, I say the Igbo president, the Nigerian president of a Southeast extraction as the ultimate demonstration of restructuring. That's the way I say it. Because restructuring does not have to just be only constitutional and structural. It has to also, rub off in a way and manner we organize ourselves, the way we see one another as equal stakeholders in Nigeria. Nobody is more Nigerian than myself. I will never accept it. If I have to be forced to accept that I am less Nigerian than any other person in Nigeria, I will have no choice other than to opt out of the country. That's the truth. Even individuals can renounce a country's citizenship and live somewhere else. You know that. So becoming remaining the citizen of Nigeria is not actually by force. The sections of Nigeria saying they want self-determination, they are remaining in Nigeria. It's also not by force. You need to really agree on how best to organize Nigeria and how best to get all sections of the country to feel carried along so that they will contribute their utmost to making the country work and moving us to the next level.
Okay, so, thank you so much, Dr. Mefo. We are almost out of time.
Just okay. One last line. Just one. Right. Let me make just this last statement. So, if anybody is telling you that agitation for sovereign state of Biafra should affect the quest for Nigerian president of Igbo or Southeast extraction, the person is not being sincere. I want to ask such a person, did the Boko Haram terrorism stop President Muhammad Buhari or Yar'Adua from becoming the president of Nigeria? Did the Niger Delta militancy stop Goodluck Jonathan from becoming the president of Nigeria? I want to know whether the quest for Yoruba or Oduduwa Republic stopped Obasanjo from becoming the president of Nigeria, or Professor Yemi Osibajo from becoming the vice president of Nigeria, or stopping Tinubu from aspiring to become president of Nigeria. Why should that of the Igbos be different? It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. In fact, if they want to stop Biafra agitation, give us the presidency. If you do that, I guarantee that we will get things back to normal. I assure you of this. But if they think we don't count for anything, no problem. I wish them luck.
Okay, let us take the first participant, Mr. Daniel Enumba. I can see your hand up. Mr. Can you hear me? News band, if you can hear me. Okay, please go ahead.
Dr. Lamefo, the theme of this conversation is assessing the Igbo strategy for the 2023 presidential election. So my question is, before we do the assessment, there must first be a strategy. So if the Igbos have been shouting for the past 5 years or eons of years that Nigeria must zone the presidency to the Igbos, what is the Igbo strategy for capturing the 2023 presidency? You are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Okay. I see no clear strategy. Let us face reality. I see no clear strategy, but I have reached out to a number of gladiators, and they told me, I reached out to a number of gladiators, Igbo gladiators, and they told me that a lot of work is going on behind the scene. So I think the strategy, based on what they have told me, is that it's a quiet process, and not to really rouse too much attention and get the whole thing scuttled before people know it. What that means is that in the open, people may think that nothing is happening, but behind the scene, work is going on. That is what I heard from very top quarters, from some of the gladiators, those who should become, the hopefuls, or who are the hopefuls. That's what I hear from them. And I want to believe that, and I see that as the strategy.
Okay, I also have Pamsin Dagat. Pamsin, Mr. Dagat, your hand is up.
Okay, I hope you are hearing me.
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Okay. I think Dr. Mefo have already laid the background very correctly. There is no doubt and there is no gainsaying on the capacity of the Igbo man to rule this country and deliver on good governance. It's not in doubt. It's equally not in doubt that the Igbos have shown beyond reasonable doubt that they feel marginalized in this country, this same country we call our own. They have been crying for inclusiveness, and they have been suffering from the brunt of the civil war. So if truly Nigeria as a country really felt that we need to prove that we all belong to this country, I agree with him totally that the Igbos should be given the shot at this moment to be the president of this country. My only worry, and that is my question to Dr. Mefo, is this. How do you smoke the Igbos from their hideout to really come out and project themselves for this presidency? Because power is not really given. You have to take it. We have people like Peter Obi, which he has rightly analyzed his capacity. Sitting down believing that he can be vice president, if not the president, is very funny. And the last speaker asked a question, what strategy? And we are told that this strategy is a hidden strategy. Okay, it's a hidden strategy, but the party to which the Igbos have contributed to keeping it alive, which is the PDP, are working on an internal zoning system where the party chairmanship is sent to a place where naturally they will now argue that the president will not come from there. And the people from the south are happily accepting that particular kind of zoning arrangement. So what strategy are they doing until all the zoning have already been taking place locally? Then how will they want to start? So these are my only worry. So the issue of capacity, the issue whether they should be president shouldn't be in doubt. It should be a position that any well-meaning Nigeria should argue. But how do we smoke them out to really agitate to be president? That's my question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Daiga. Just before I allow Dr. Mefo to respond, let me take the last hand I can see here. That's Elder Tango Ugochukwu. Elder Ugochukwu, please go ahead.
Good evening, good morning, anyway, President Biara and the group. My contribution to the issue at point is that I always like to go back to history. After the Civil War, they said no conquer, no vanquish. That we get on, that everything is okay, but nobody won, nobody lose. That is no conquer, no vanquish. But we the Igbos have, so we have been at the receiving end of all this Even some of us who later think everything is okay, later join the army too, experience the same situation before we pull out. So even if Peter B is right on what he's saying, Peter B has seen the insider and know that even if you give Igbo man, which is the situation of Nigeria today, if you dash Igbo man the presidency, he cannot do any magic in Nigerian situation. This is what Peter B is dodging. Coming to our Biafra issue, anything at all. The last speaker has said it all, that there's a reason for that. If the situation works, if the system works, nobody's a mad person to be complaining. In a situation there is nothing work, no good road, no good opportunity for the people, the common basic thing government will do, they don't do it. Since last year, all the governors have been, even this year, they started saving money for governor election, presidential election. Some governors are even owing their workers, owing teachers, owing salary in order to save money for election. Is it the system will continue? So the point we have is that Igbo man to be president will be good, but the person will face many challenges with the system of Nigeria as it is today. This is what Peter B is dodging. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let us let our guest respond to that. Dr. Mefo.
Yeah. The first speaker, he agreed, and I thank him, that the Igbos have the capacity. He repeated the question asked by Dan, what is the strategy? And if it is a hidden one, we'll give them the internal zoning arrangement of the PDP, may zone the chairmanship to a place where based on convention. I agree with him. You see, to be honest, once the Ugwani is in a zoning committee zones the chairmanship of the PDP to anywhere in the South, the Igbos can no longer get the presidential ticket. That is the convention. Because the convention has always been from the South. That has been it. So if the Ugwani committee zones the chairmanship to South, it's over for us. We'll now be scrambling to get a PP. Now, we have been shouting, we have been reaching out because we know one or two of them that wouldn't mind taking up the office of the chairman of the PDP. The most we can do is to ensure that the chairmanship of PDP doesn't come to the Southeast. But that's the tragedy. And I've often complained that we don't have a very solid political South Nigeria. So as we speak now, somebody from Southwest may take the office of the chairman of the PDP, and that will put paid to our aspiration to produce the president of Nigeria, because the PDP will not zone both their chairmanship and the presidential tickets to the South. No, they will not do that. So I am using this forum to further what we have often been saying. If the South really love itself, they must reject any Greek gift in form of the chairmanship of the PDP or that of even that of the APC. They mustn't accept it, because it is even better that the presidential ticket is zoned to any other place in the South than be retained in the North, because that will mean that the presidency will be retained in the North for another 16 years. That would not be fair. That's said. The second question from my friend that was trying to hazard a guess now, because he believes that he will not be able to achieve much the way Nigeria is designed, constructed, and structured. Come, my brother, who do you expect to restructure Nigeria for you? Nigeria cannot be restructured without the presidential power, presidential will. Nigeria will take somebody like it to be negotiating Nigeria with the other stakeholders as president. That is the point we're making. You don't stay away hoping Nigeria will be structured. Who will structure Nigeria for you? The people who are enjoying the way Nigeria is now will not allow Nigeria to be restructured. And you say they should hold the presidency. If you say they should hold the presidency, you there should not be restrained the way it is. Who would want to? If you are holding the 4 S's, you want to restructure Nigeria and begin to look on a capacity to dispense favor and national resources. Who wants that? Only restructuring will do that, and it will take the presidential will. If Buhari, for example, wants Nigeria restructured, he can restructure Nigeria in 6 months. That's a fact. He can restructure Nigeria in 6 months, but he doesn't want, because the way Nigeria is at the moment favors him and his people. And the South is saying that they don't want the president because Nigeria is too bad, and the person that comes here is the task. The task of a leader is to solve problems. We need creativity. We need people capacity to change things. We need bridge builders. We need Igbos who are, who have lion hearts to renegotiate Nigeria. It's not a matter of using to really move around. You need to bring in stakeholders, bring in all the zones, and let us know what is possible. And agree, let us know what the fears South are, the fears of the Southwest, not Central or Middle Belt, as you may want to call them. It is leadership. That is what leadership does. So if nobody should make excuses for people to be, for waiting for the polity to be right, for him to declare to run, no. That is why I prefer somebody like Chukwuma Soludo. Soludo is very rugged. Soludo cannot be afraid of a problem like this. Soludo would tackle Nigeria head on. But Soludo is more interested in running for the governorship of Anambra State. I confronted him on this. He gave me reasons why he has to go for Anambra for now. I saw reason with it. But you need a man with that kind of heart. That's what we're saying. Where are our men? Where are our men? Watchers has a lion heart. Where are this is the time for men to in fact, I think it was Godard, that a poet, that prayed and said, God, give us men. We need men to rise now. We need men that should be able to take care of the problems of Nigeria. You don't wait until Nigeria is repaired, then you now come and answer Mr. President. That is not it. Nigeria is bad. Nigeria has to be repaired. Nigeria needs somebody who can repair it. Nigeria needs statesman. Nigeria needs a patriot. Nigeria needs a project-minded person. Nigeria needs somebody who should be able to build a bridge across South and North, across all the regions. We need somebody who the youth can connect with. We need somebody who can offer us new hope. We need people who can make us to become part of the respected community of the world. That's what we need at the moment. We don't need people who want to just hang out and believe that they have to wait until in a pose as president of Nigeria. No, we need men who can roll up the sleeves, repair the damage the country. The fractured wounds. We have to be bound. We need to heal. We need balm. We need people who can offer succor, people who can embrace. I want to see the Igbo gladiators move to the north, identify with Zulu, identify with Sultan, identify with the Emir of Kano. Commiserate with them. A lot is going on in the north. Igbos are not doing anything to show concern. They need to wake up and do something. That's the point I'm making. And I will never stop saying this until I see the move.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mefo. Let us call the last participant and we will round up the program. Mr. Hygienus Anedo. Mr. Hygienus.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Mefo, and all the participants that have spoken. I hope I'm loud and clear. So,
yes, go ahead.
One of the things I thought from all the discussion here is about the strategy. And I think Dr. Mefo has said a lot of things that are really the factors that are affecting Igbo quest for presidency. And one of the speakers has said here that in politics, is a question of taking, not under sympathy. And I see my people, the Igbo people, as trying to whip up some sentiments under sympathy, the issue of marginalization and the rest of them. Our people used to say that na anes nono marama wekwairo, which means you have to, keep your house first in order before going outside. And if you want to fight a battle like this, you must get your armors internally first fortified before going to face the perceived enemies. Politics is not a game of war, but it's a game of trying to sell oneself to be accepted by others. The issue of building bridges and the rest of them. So I think the major thing that is affecting us and all these gladiators we are talking about now is that we are not united. From the onward go in 1998, when PDP was so formidable, I know that people like the late Alex Ekweme was one of those lifeline for PDP. And he also took a shot in becoming the presidential candidate of PDP. As I was a student at University of Jos. I was at that convention ground. I heard what Jim Wobodo said as part of his speech. He sold out, and the foundation was broken, and the people now, the stakeholders went into another meeting, and they brought out Obasanjo. Now, I was thinking that before now, since after 2015 election, Igbos would have gathered themselves together and begin to fashion out the way they can build bridge across other zones, political zones in the country. And that should have been the take of Ohaneze and Igbo. But we could see that even in Ohaneze, there are a lot of factions. So the fear of some of our gladiators is that even from within, you can't get support of your fellow Igbo men. And analysis so far has shown that other zones are looking at us as people that cannot come out with one voice. That is a major factor. So the strategy to go, though it's for me, it's very late now, because all these things they are doing now is like gambling. They are not going out as one block, one voice to go and tell other people, no, it is our turn. Not only that it's our turn, they could be seen to be prepared to take it from them, and others will now support them. However bad the statement of Hakim Ahmed was, but he made the one silent point that if North should support anybody. They're supposed to negotiate the interests of the North. So politics is a thing of interest, not friendship, not enemy. So for me, the first strategy is that we should go back to drawing board and look at a group or organization that can first begin to move. Our people also say that the king does not speak for himself. That is exactly the yes, the gladiators are there. They may have the resources, they may have the determination, but they don't have that block support for an individual or even within the group. They can be called together and we sieve out who can really represent us across the country.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. So
thank you. Let us listen to our guest make his last submission before we round up. Dr. Mefo.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so you can just react to
what he
has said, and then
once more, I thank you. I thank you for hosting me. And I also thank you helped to focus my thoughts and sharpen my presentations. My last line is this. You see, Nigeria is a beautiful project, but we have a section that believes that the country belongs to them. That born to rule mentality must stop if Nigeria has to make any move, any progress. You see, you cannot be trying a method and the method is not delivering result and you insist on it. It's wrong. And there is even a bigger problem. Those who believe that the Igbos will be happy playing, second hand citizen rule, second fiddle, even to the point that we are even becoming a fiddle-less, if there is a word like that. Those who believe that Igbos will be happy doing that are mistaken. Igbos, by their very nature, are Republicans. And the rest of the country need to take this submission to the bank, and it will pay. Igbos will never accept subjugation. That's the truth. And we have made our mark there, and we are seeking to help in the public sector. We are asking for the president of Nigeria because it is a matter of right. That is a right which we all have. And we are asking for zoning because the way the country is structured, if you leave it, we have been excluded. We have only 5 states. If there is no zoning between north and south and the micro zoning within south, we will not be able to get the ticket because we have been shunted out constitutionally, structurally, and institutionally also. The point I am trying to make is that I am justifying that zoning in the Nigerian context is democratic because the country is not democratically arranged. So you need to really bring in some arrangement that will allow equity, social justice to go around.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mefo.
The last sentence is this, right? The last sentence is this. The office of the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria must benefit from the extant provision of the Constitution, which is the ground norm, which has brought into itself the provisions of federal character. Because the office of the President is indivisible, and the federal character principle says that all offices will have to be zoned, based on zones and states and all that in the country. Since the office of the President is indivisible, the only way it can apply to the office of between the zones and through micro zoning within north and south also. This is for hosting me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mefo. We have,
The
and
pleasure
that's
is mine.
that's as much as we can take on today's exclusive interview. We have been